Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to replace a front wheel bearing in your second gen Tacoma. Let's go ahead, let's jump into it. First things first, here's the tools we're gonna need. So shop towels are nice to have, a 12mm socket, 17mm socket, and your wrench, and a way to remove your lug nuts. So I have a key, so I'm my key to get my lug nuts off, a 17mm wrench, a screwdriver or a punch, like a chisel punch would be nice. Some pliers, I recommend different sizes, as well as some wire snip, and your axle nut socket. So this is a 35mm socket and it's a 1/2 inch. So we've got a 1/2 inch socket here. A sledge, 3 pounds works just fine. A soft mallet, so soft hammer. A piece of wood is a good tool and you'll see why. And then obviously the new wheel bearing. You're also gonna need a way to jack up your trucks. We've got a jack and some jack stands. You're also gonna be seeing me using a breaker bar to break my lug nuts. So let's go ahead, let's get started. Before we jack up the truck, we need to loosen up our lug nuts. That way the wheel doesn't spin when you go loosening these up. So once you've got your lug nuts loose on that tire, go ahead, place your jack under your truck and start jacking it up. Of course, we want to be on the frame, nothing plastic or like the oil pan or your skid plate. So just go ahead and get your truck off the ground. Right there looks good. Okay, now that the truck is jacked up and it's safe, our lug nuts are loose, I'm gonna go ahead and use my impact to make this a little bit faster and remove my lug nuts. Set your lug nuts somewhere you're not gonna lose them, and then remove your tire. And set it to the side. You can also set it under the truck. I know a lot of people do that as another safety measure, but I think we'll be okay. So now with the tire out of the way, we need to loosen and remove a few things. First one we're gonna do, we're gonna grab our 10mm socket and our wrench, and we're gonna loosen up the ABS bracket that's holding on to the knuckle here. With that removed, just pop it out of the knuckle. There you go. And then we have to unplug the line. Let me show you on the other side. So right here behind your tie rod end, there's a plug. You can just follow the line that we just disconnected on that bracket and unplug this plug with some pliers is what I recommend, and maybe even a screwdriver. So we're gonna do that really quick. There we go. And it didn't break. That's always an added plus. On this line, there's also this little bracket that you can pry out of the way with a screwdriver. And then you just need to pull this wire out of the way. This is for your ABS sensor, so definitely want to lose that or screw it up. So now with that disconnected and this bracket loose, the next thing we need to do, which I highly recommend doing this next, is taking the dust cover off and removing our axle nut. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna be using my screwdrivers and my sledge. So with the screwdriver and a sledge, you wedge it in here. You just go around kind of bonking your screwdriver or your chisel, and you'll start to see the dust cover separate from your rotor. That does take a little bit of time and patience, but eventually it should pop off just like that. So the biggest thing you want to be careful of, and I need a new dust cover, but the biggest thing you want to be careful of is denting or pushing in any of the sides. But that should be good. And now that that's out of the way, we have a cotter pin here. So let's go ahead and remove that. Some wire snips do a good job at grabbing and giving you a little bit of leverage. Once you have it somewhat unbent and straight like that, you should be able to push it out. There we go. I'd recommend a new cotter pin. That also removes this little keeper. So let's set that to the side. And we have our axle nut here. I'm gonna show you a trick. So if we tried to remove this right now, it's just gonna spin our rotor, spin our axle just like that. So with your caliper still on, we're just gonna loosen this up. We're not trying to take it off yet. I'm going to take and put a screwdriver in my rotor, bonk it against my caliper right here because this is still mounted, and we're gonna loosen our axle nut. I went ahead and grabbed my cheater bar again. And just like that. We've got it loose. Keep it on here. I'm gonna keep it on a few threads. Remove our screwdriver. And now we're gonna take off the mounting bolts that are holding our caliper. Back here, you've got 2 mounting bolts right next to the knuckle. They're right behind the actual caliper itself. Be careful of your bleeder valve here and be careful of your line. But they are 17mm bolts, so I grabbed my 17mm wrench as well as my hammer, and we're just gonna bonk our wrench until it starts loosening up our bolts. And be careful when you remove this second one. So there's that. You need to be supporting the caliper because now it's loose, and these things are pretty heavy. So I'm just gonna set this down really quick, just in a spot where it stays. So really the next thing we need to do is secure our caliper just out of the way so it's not hanging and ruining your brake line. A cheap and easy way to do it is with zip ties. You can also get a strap, and what we're doing is just looping around one of the mounting points, then looping it around somewhere on my truck. So I'm gonna get these zip ties ready and find a position for this and zip tie it on there so it's out of the way and solid so it doesn't break the brake line. And honestly, right there, it's perfectly fine. It's out of the way. There's no pressure on the brake line and no pressure on the brake line back here. So as long as it's out of our way and not putting any pressure on those things, we should be good to go. All right, so now we can actually just remove the axle nut and put it over there. And now we got to take off our rotor. See how mine's stuck? So give yours a couple bonks and should come loose just fine. Now we're gonna set it over there. And here is our wheel bearing. Here's a better idea and angle of these mounting bolts, and they are a 17mm. So as you can see, there's not a lot of space back here to be working with. So that's why we've got our wrench. And these are on here pretty good. So we got our hammer again and our wrench. I'm gonna hold that on there with a little bit of pressure and smack it so it helps you loosen up those mounting bolts. Let's do the other 3. And a helpful tip right here, so you can spin this out of the way. Gives you a little bit more room to put your wrench on there. So a little helpful tip for you. There we go. So they all should be loose now that you can use your fingers. If not, just grab your wrench again. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get these removed. As these bolts are coming out, there's a couple of things to notice. So that was really easy. I've seen these hubs get pretty stuck, and that's why we've got our sledge. If that were really stuck on there, we would have used our sledge, even a mallet, maybe. But I live in Utah and we don't get that much rust. So the next thing to notice is your heat shield's gonna be coming off because these 4 captured bolts hold it on. So as you're loosening this up, it should separate away from your knuckle, hopefully easily, and your heat shield. So now that it's off and away from the knuckle, your heat shield's fine. It can finagle there. You're gonna remove it off of your axle like that and just set it over there. We can remove our heat shield and set it right there. And you'll notice that a gasket came off as well. And mine actually came with a replacement gasket, so that's nice. And then we're gonna clean out the gunk that's inside here. So you can see our ABS sensor right here. Be super careful. And I just wanna wipe out all that junk that's in there. What I would also recommend is you see some of the surface rust, as long as it's not like bumpy or there's like a chunk of metal or something right here, you should be okay. But wiping that off and getting this surface clean is also pretty important. So I'm just gonna give it a good wipe. Make sure it's nice and clean for our new part. I mean, that's what we want. We wanna go ahead and apply our new gasket on our new wheel bearing. With the new gasket on, we need to grab our heat shield as well. And remember how it was placed. Something like that. It's gonna be a little tricky, but you kind of hold onto the heat shield while you throw on your new wheel bearing, and you can let go of the heat shield if you need both hands to kind of finagle. And what you're really trying for here is to align the splines of the wheel bearing onto the splines of the axle. So you can grab it and rotate it. And this is really obnoxious and in the way, but with enough patience, it'll work out. There we go. You'll feel it slide into place with your axle like that. And then you can go ahead and start twisting on the mounting bolts, making sure that the heat shield is out of the way. And when you're tightening these down, you want to tighten them down in a crisscross pattern. That way it's going on level and flush. There we go. You always want to start with your hand. You always want to start getting them finger tight before you go wrenching them down. So I'm going to get these finger tight, and then we're going to grab our wrench and tighten them down with our wrench. So now I've got my wrench. I'm going to start in this top corner and tighten it down a few, then jump down to the opposite corner and tighten it down a few, and you'll feel it. That bottom one was getting a little more tight than this one, so I know I have a little catching up to do up here. And then let's jump over to this corner, give it a few times around with the wrench, and then jump down here. Oh wow, I got some catching up to do down here. So that's why it's important to go crisscross. And once we got them to the point where they're nice and snug with our wrench, see, like that's pretty hand tight, we're gonna go ahead and move over to our hammer to torque these things down. You can't get a torque wrench in here, so we'll start up here and I'll show you. Get your wrench on there, grab your hammer, give it a few bonks, and do this in the crisscross pattern that we were talking about. So now we're gonna move down here, give it a few bonks, and keep going. As long as when it's on here and you can't really hammer it anymore, then you know that you're good to go. And it's not going anywhere. So see that right there, how my hammer is just kind of bouncing on it? It's not tightening down anymore. I think we're good on that bolt. And lastly, we're good on that one. Your new wheel bearing is installed. So now we're gonna go ahead and zip everything back together in reverse. So go ahead and grab your rotor, put it on there. Once it's on here, my little trick here, take some lug nuts, screw them on. One on the top and one on the bottom works. What that does is keep it in place while we're messing around with our caliper. Speaking of which, we can go ahead and undo our zip ties and get this installed. You'd be surprised, this is the hardest part of all of it. Now we also got to remember about our bracket and our ABS plug. So don't forget to go plugging this back in, and we're gonna go ahead and connect our bracket as well. All right, so our caliper's on there, bracket's good, ABS sensors plugged back in. We're gonna remove our temporary lug nut solution and then start tightening on our axle nut. And now when we go tightening this down, the rotor's gonna spin this way. So we have to find a way to jimmy rig and make sure that the rotor doesn't spin. See, just like with that. And we're gonna go ahead, tighten up our axle nut. And there we go. We can remove our screwdriver and grab a new cotter pin for our little keeper here. Find a slot that works well, throw the new cotter pin in, grab some pliers, bend our cotter pin over, and that just helps the keeper not go anywhere. All right, so now we're ready to put our dust cover back on, and that's where the block of wood comes in handy. So when you're putting this back on, it's gonna wanna slip and fall out of place, but the block of wood applies enough pressure in an area so it doesn't go slipping everywhere. So grab your mallet and get it started. And then what I like to do is grab my piece of wood, start on one side, work on the other until it's totally there. There we go. It's flush and it's ready to go. So now we can go ahead and throw our tire on. Now with my lug nuts on there, they're tightened down a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and jack the truck up, take the jack stands out of the way, and then finish tightening up our lug nuts, and we're good to go. Now that she's on the ground, I'm gonna finish tightening my lug nuts up, and I'm not gonna over torque them this time. So there we have it. That is how you replace a front wheel bearing in your second gen Tacoma. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, guys. This stuff is so much fun. If you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more, and I will see you guys in the next one.